What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916. You know how we do it over here. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. Go check out bigherc916.com. Subscribe to the website. Pick you up some merch, hat, t-shirt, bar soap, support. And look forward to seeing you guys at the next men's panel, July 30th. 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be by private Zoom only. Not doing it on YouTube. Don't want to deal with the trolls, with the bullshit, the spamming. So it will be private for those who are serious about elevation of self, consciousness, and building relationships. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel. And I'm about to put on my tinfoil hat again for you guys and share a little something. I was watching this video and it was talking about ESG, AI, and the digital currency, right? And for those who don't know what ESG is a score. It's a way to assign quantitative metric such as numerical score or letter rating to the environmental, social, and governance efforts undertaken by a specific organization. Therefore, you have ESG. And it's very big in China. And ESG, they can use it to determine whether or not they want to grant you certain loans or other things, and this ties into a lot of your social media presence and other things.
It's become a dirty word for corporate America. It's gotten so politicized.
It certainly has gotten politicized, and it's unfortunate because it's inevitable that everyone is going to have to participate in dealing with
the environment. Okay, mandatory. It will be mandatory. You will have to participate in ESG. So everything they said about a conspiracy theory is now clearly off the table. They're saying it. So you will have to deal with a social credit score. Now,
so take ESG and now combine that with AI. And you just saw where Maxine Waters talked about everybody will have to conform. See, they make it sound like this stuff is not going to happen here or it's voluntary, but eventually they're going to push it on everybody, and we got to be prepared so that we can find alternatives and not be per se fear-based and panic when all this goes down. So got to look at this right now as something that could inevitably consume our society and how we're going to deal with it. Now you combine that with AI and listen to what Kamala Harris says.
AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters.
Oh my God.
It means artificial intelligence. But ultimately what it is it's about machine learning. And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine that will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what information is going in.
Okay, stop. What she's saying here is that we're going to teach AI about ESG. We're going to talk to the computer and teach the algorithms to look for equity, to look for social justice, to look for environmental wrongs, to look at governance. Now remember, Maxine Waters just said this is inevitable. Everyone will be forced. You'll have to deal with it. Now they're talking about AI, making that an all-seeing, all-knowing policeman.
So Kamala Harris says AI learns, it's going to be teaching, you know, they're going to teach it what it wants, what they want it to know. So they can teach AI how to lie, which it already knows how to do. They can teach AI to push a certain political agenda. They can teach AI to be biased in certain viewpoints, history, other things that are based in different societal aspects. So AI is not going to be something that you can count on 100% to get your facts. And you know, you already see how they do now with the fact checker, right? So you see when they say fact check facts, and really the fact check is only for those that don't agree with the mainstream narrative. But the mainstream narrative can't be questioned because it's the mainstream narrative. So how realistic is that? How factual is the fact check? Now check out this whole digital currency thing.
Let me bring you to central bank digital currency. This is from page 154 of Dark Future. Now, tie all these things together. Listen carefully. When people think of digital currencies, they usually think of decentralized blockchain currencies like those discussed earlier in this chapter. But a U.S. central bank digital currency would likely be completely different, especially if it's developed under the Biden administration or another leftist White House. Why? Because they're going to teach it. Although developers of CBDCs promise these new currencies will be safe and designed to protect some privacy rights, footnote 373, one of the primary appeals of a CBDC is, from the perspective of governments, is that it would be programmable, meaning it could be designed to act in a certain way based on predetermined criteria. So tie this in. You're going to have an ESG score. It's going to be tied with AI watching you, and now a digital currency that is responsive to AI and those scores. A programmable central bank digital currency could be designed so it could only be utilized for certain kinds of purchases, or so that it has limits on the amount of times it can be used to buy certain goods or products. It's even more likely that some CBDCs, including a U.S. digital dollar, would be designed so the rules for its use could change over time.
Now, when you talk about the digital currency and you look at how they apply that, this shit can get really deep really fast, because if they want to look at your purchasing history or say, hey, we want to control certain things you purchase, we don't want you to purchase, we want to have a day where we don't allow this, or you met your quota for your meat or for your eggs. That's why I talk about how important it is to start growing your own foods, and also networking with farmers, local dairy people, people who are supporting each other, because we're going to go back to a tribal style way of living. I see either you're going to embrace this, you know, this global net of digital way of living, or you're going to pull yourself out like Neo to a degree and have your resources that you can go down and buy your eggs, you know, barter and trade. There's gonna be a lot of that going on, you know, and for your kids, you gotta start lacing them up. You're gonna have to somehow spend time. I don't know when you're gonna make the time, but make the time to educate your kids at home so that they know what's going on, because they're going to be so deep in this quote unquote system that they're not going to understand how to maneuver outside. And you got to know how to maneuver in these little, what they call gray areas, so that you can have a peace of mind, because control is the end game. It's the end game. What kind of car you drive, whether you're driving an electric car, a gas car, where you live, what you eat, all these things, they don't need to put a chip in your head. They could control you with just your food and the way you spend money. On top of it, the indoctrination going on. So just something to think about, man. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm not trying to tell you if it's good or bad. I'm just trying to tell you that you got to think out the box and look at the big picture to see what direction. I mean, I'm talking about our future. I don't know how soon any of this will be implemented, but I know it's already in the works, and the powers that be, the people that have already taken the bag, they don't care. Celebrities, entertainers, multimillionaires, those who are considered a part of the 1%, it doesn't affect them. It affects all the people that are watching this video, the middle class, which is being wiped out on a daily, and they're continuing to try to wipe them out because they don't like people having independence as entrepreneurs. They'd rather you work for a conglomerate, somewhere that you can be controlled once again, because if you don't go along with these policies at these big companies, you're out. HR fires you. But if you have your own business, you can say, hey man, I can, do what I want to do. I can have my own policies. I can dictate how I run my own business. That's independence. And that's not something they're teaching in schools. So you got to teach your young that. So something to think about, man. I'm always thinking outside the box, because I know how it is, especially for a lot of people who have been through the system that are working on trying to find employment and support themselves and their families. You got to think out the box. That's why a lot of guys go into trades and trucking and things like that, because they can control their destiny. But when you're tied into somebody that can say, hey man, we don't like what you tweeted, we don't like what you post on Instagram, this impacts your credit score, dude, you're hit. So hey, just sharing a little game with you guys with my tinfoil hat. Subscribe, share the channel. Look forward to seeing you guys at the men's panel. Big Herc 916, positivity and motivation. Hello, my name is Big Herc 916, and I'm with the Wash Your Ass Committee, and I'm traveling across America helping people wash their ass and get their booty holes clean. And I have with me here today Wash Your Ass soap, and this one in particular is Butt Naked Scrub. But I also have Festival, Oatmeal Milk and Honey, Jamaican Me Crazy, Monkey Farts, and all these scents smell very good. They will help cleanse your body of funk and also make you feel better about yourself. So if you can go to BigHerc916.com, you can pick you up a bar. And my goal is to help America combat funk. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com. Go to the Herc store at BigHerc916.com and pick you up a bar of soap so you can wash that ass, or pick you up some Never Settle for Average merch, or some of the Muscleup Car Lifestyle merch. We have hats, Never Settle for Average. Got the Muscleup t-shirts. We also have the Never Settle for Average tank tops. Got the Muscleup Car Lifestyle hoodies. Got the beanie caps. Hey man, represent. And I know you guys aren't average, so pick you up some swag, and step your game up. Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.